I grew up in 1950s Dorchester. I grew up poor, orphaned by my family, and left to survive on the streets. I learned how to steal food and deal drugs by the time I was 14 years old. I went to Kathmandu. I met Hari Gopal KC. He and I hiked about 5 miles up through the mountains. We kept walking until we approached some marijuana fields, and through the fields we ended up walking into a village which was controlled by a Nepalese gang of drug smugglers. Once inside of the village and meeting the chief, we made a deal where we would ship 50 pounds of hash hidden inside of Nepalese artifacts back to me in Boston. When I returned to Boston, I got the artifacts, and when I opened them up, they were empty. I was absolutely furious. This reminded me of getting beat up on the street. I had to get back up and fight back. This wouldn't work. So I got an enforcer friend of mine, and the two of us went back to Nepal, hiked the 5 miles into the mountains, found these guys, confronted them. They were so surprised that we returned that they said they did this all the time. Americans, French, British wannabe smugglers would show up there and they'd rip them off, and the guys never came back. They were so impressed that we came back that we negotiated a deal that lasted many years, delivering 50 pounds of hash inside these artifacts to me in Boston, and it was a great success. And at a random meeting in Harvard Square, I was offered an opportunity to go to Colombia. I landed in Cartagena and took a small plane to a remote jungle runway in the Choco region of Colombia on a 20,000-acre marijuana farm. There I met my godfather for the first time and his shaman. As an initiation into this family, the first job I had was to lead 12 military trucks through mountainous roads across the border from Colombia into Venezuela to my godfather's village to deliver food and clothing that the villagers needed. Upon entering the truck, my godfather gave me 2 bags. One had a silver-plated .22 in it, and the other had 50,000 pesos. When I asked him what they were for, he said, "Offer the guard the cash. If he doesn't take it, shoot him in the head. He's too stupid to live." I absolutely understood that and took off. My godfather and I then strategized what would become a $250 million a year marijuana smuggling empire. We were able to wash that money and turn it into legal business enterprise. I am now worth close to $30 million, traveling between my lavish home and lifestyle in Marin County and the farm in Choco, Colombia, running a Ferrari dealership, jewelry store, and securities firm, while being the architect of my black market world. I organized the crew and we headed into a truck driving to Nia Bay. 13 tons offloaded, 37 more to go. We sat at a dockside coffee shop when on TV I saw my freighter, the Helena Star, being towed in by the fucking Coast Guard. An announcer says, "The largest marijuana bust in U.S. history."